Cary Christopher, who plays Thomas Di Mera on Days of Our Lives, is set to guest star on Chicago Med on NBC. Find out when. From Salem's shadows to Chicago's chaos, Cary Christopher brings Thomas Di Mera's intensity to Chicago Med. In the ever-turbulent world of daytime drama, few names carry the weight and whispered menace of Di Mera. For actor Cary Christopher, stepping into the tailored, often morally ambiguous shoes of Thomas Di Mera on Days of Our Lives has been a masterclass in playing with fire. He's become synonymous with the quiet calculation, simmering rage, and unexpected vulnerability that defines Salem's most notorious family. Now, Christopher is taking that potent on-screen energy out of the fictional Illinois town of Salem and into the very real, very high-stakes environment of Chicago's premier medical drama. In an exclusive and exciting network crossover, NBC has confirmed that Cary Christopher is set for a guest starring role on the hit series Chicago Med. This move marks a significant primetime debut for the daytime star, showcasing his range to a broader audience and sparking a frenzy of speculation among fans of both franchises. The burning question on everyone's mind is, when do we get to see this highly anticipated crossover? Mark your calendars for Wednesday, November 13th at 8/7 on NBC. The episode, titled Contagion of the Heart, will see Christopher stepping into the frantic halls of the Gaffney Chicago Medical Center. But he won't be bringing any of Salem's supernatural resurrection pills or vendettas with him. This is a chance to see the actor, stripped of the Di Mera legacy, create a wholly new character from the ground up. So, who is he playing? Christopher will portray Julian Hardley, a successful and charismatic Chicago-based architect whose life is upended by a sudden, mysterious medical crisis. Sources close to the production describe Hardley as a man who is used to being in control, designing the very skyline around him, only to find himself completely powerless within the sterile, beeping confines of a hospital room. Julian is the antithesis of Thomas in many ways, Christopher shared during a break in filming. Thomas is all about legacy, history, and a certain darkness he was born into. Julian has built his own legacy with his own two hands. He's a creator, not a destroyer. But when his body betrays him, that foundation of control he's built his life on completely crumbles. It was a fascinating challenge to explore that kind of vulnerability. The episode's plot will see Julian admitted to the ED after collapsing at a high-profile construction site, presenting with a suite of baffling neurological symptoms that have Dr. Will Halstead Nick Gelfus and Dr. Hannah Asher Jesse Schramm scrambling for a diagnosis. Is it a rare infection, a toxin, or something more structurally sinister? The medical mystery will serve as the backbone of the episode, forcing the doctors to think outside the box while Julian's wife, played by a special guest star, watches in terror. For the Chicago Med showrunners, casting Christopher was a deliberate and inspired choice. We've been fans of Cary's work on Days for a long time, explained executive producer Andrew Schneider. He has this incredible ability to communicate immense internal struggle with just a look. You believe his intelligence, you feel his pain, and you're never quite sure what he's going to do next. Those are exactly the qualities we look for in a guest star for Med. The medical drama is the engine, but the human stories are the fuel. Cary brings a profound humanity to every role he touches, and we knew he could hold his own opposite our incredible cast. The feeling is mutual for Christopher, who describes his time on the Chicago Med set as both exhilarating and humbling. It's a different rhythm, for sure, he laughs. On Days, we're shooting an incredible amount of pages every day. It's a sprint. Here, there's a slightly different pace, a bit more time to sit with a scene and really drill down into the nuances. The entire team, from the directors to the camera operators to the medical consultants, is so precise. There's a palpable sense of realism they're chasing, and you have to rise to that occasion. I had to learn how to properly hold a chart, read a fake MRI that looks incredibly real, and convey the specific panic of a patient who doesn't understand what's happening to his own body. This foray into primetime is a significant milestone in Christopher's career, which has been on a steady ascent since he first appeared in Salem. A classically trained theater actor, Christopher cut his teeth on stages across the country before landing the role of a lifetime in Days of Our Lives. He brought a fresh, brooding intensity to the role of Thomas, a character burdened by a family name synonymous with villainy. Christopher's portrayal, however, has never been one note. He has expertly mined the script for moments of tenderness, particularly in Thomas's complicated relationships, making him one of the most compelling and divisive figures on the canvas. Daytime is an actor's boot camp, Christopher reflects. It teaches you stamina, focus, and how to make bold choices quickly. You learn to trust your instincts because you often don't have a second take. I'm incredibly grateful for that training. Walking onto the med set, I felt prepared. The vocabulary of television is the same, even if the dialect is a little different. The crossover has also sparked immense excitement within the fan communities of both shows. Social media is already ablaze with theories and anticipation. #Thomas in Chicago is trending for a reason, tweeted one avid fan. I can't wait to see Cary outside of the Di-Mera mansion. This is going to be epic. Another wrote, my two worlds are colliding. I hope Dr. Marcel has to deal with him. The intensity would be off the charts. While his character, Julian Hardley, is firmly rooted in the realistic world of Chicago Med, Christopher admits he couldn't resist a little playful speculation about a true crossover. I did joke with the writers about what if Julian Hardley was a long-lost Di-Mera cousin from a legitimate branch of the family. He grins. Imagine the chaos if Will Halstead had to call Steve Johnson for backup, or if Marlena Evans showed up to do a psych consult. The possibilities are endless, but for now, we're keeping the worlds separate. This is about Julian's story, and what a story it promises to be. Contagion of the Heart is described as a classic, pulse-pounding med episode that explores the terrifying moment when a person's future is taken out of their hands. For Christopher, it's an opportunity to showcase a different shade of his talent, one defined not by familial darkness, but by very human fear and the fight for survival. This role was a gift, Christopher states earnestly. It's a reminder that as actors, our job is to connect with the core human emotion of a scene. Whether it's Thomas facing down a family enemy or Julian facing a terrifying diagnosis, the through line is fear, hope, and the desire to overcome. I'm so excited for the Days fans to see this, and hopefully, it'll bring some new viewers over to Salem to see what else we can do. For NBC, this strategic casting is a win-win, strengthening the connective tissue within its powerful One Chicago and Daytime lineups. It's a testament to the talent they nurture and a clever way to cross-pollinate dedicated audiences. So, clear your schedule for the evening of Wednesday, November 13th. The doctors of Chicago Med are about to face a case that will test their limits, and audiences are about to witness Cary Christopher like they've never seen him before, vulnerable, desperate, and fighting for his life, far from the scheming shadows of Salem. It's a performance that promises not only to diagnose a fictional illness, but to confirm a very real diagnosis of star power in the making.